Henderson to leave Liverpool. Bale makes Real Madrid decision. Spurs close in on a double swoop. Arsenal signed Belgian wonder kid, and a transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Froelich, you are the one footballers, and this is the Daily News. So first up, and Jordan Henderson could be leaving Liverpool. What on earth is that about? The captain, who's recently celebrated spending 10 years at the Anfield club, is reportedly looking for a move away because, well, contract talks aren't really going anywhere. Okay, so here's the situation. Jordan Henderson's got 2 years left on his current deal. It runs out in 2023, by which time he'll be 33 years old and would have spent a total of 12 years at the club. A stunning career, but he'll be playing his way to the end of his contract knowing he's not getting a new one. If Liverpool aren't offering him a new one now, age 31, they're probably not going to be offering him anything interesting within the next 2 years. The reason being is because when they had Gini Wijnaldum entering the last few years of his contract, they didn't offer him anything and he was only 30 years old. Now he's left on a free transfer to PSG and, well, Liverpool didn't exactly make too much of an effort to stop that. Henderson's already 31. Imagine a few years when he's 33. He's not going to want to do that, playing the last 2 years knowing he's not getting a new deal, and Liverpool probably won't want to lose him on a free, although he is a very good player to have in the squad. So, now come the transfer rumours that he could be moving to one of two places. The first is following Gini Wijnaldum and actually joining PSG, and the second is moving to Atletico Madrid along with fellow Englishman Kieran Trippier. Now, both of those teams could do with a good midfielder. Jordan Henderson would probably do pretty well on both of those teams, but not as well as at Liverpool. The way Liverpool play, the way Jurgen Klopp has Liverpool playing, really suits Henderson's style, and he fits in really well to that team. He's the captain, he's the leader, he's a great influence both on and off the pitch, and I don't think he'd get that anywhere else. Of course, if his influence dwindles and if Liverpool bring in other midfielders and basically they make the steps to move away from the old Liverpool, and that includes some of the older players like Henderson, he probably won't be too happy about it. So maybe he could be tempted to move on. On top of this, Liverpool could charge a little bit of a fee for him this summer rather than letting him go on a free in a few years' time. And even then, at 31, maybe next summer at 32, he's still not going to command a ridiculous price. He's good, Henderson. He's not quite 50 to 60 million good. I'd be amazed if they managed to get 20 to 25 million for him. Having said that though, there are quite a few players who are heading towards the exit door at Anfield. One of them could be Nat Phillips. He's done very well as a standard in the last season, but due to Brighton being really close to selling Ben White to Arsenal for 50 million like we covered yesterday, they have sought out Phillips as the replacement. Next up, and Taiwo Awoniyi has agreed to move to Union Berlin, and Marco Grujic has also agreed to leave the club and join Porto. So moving on though, and to a big decision that has come from Gareth Bale at Real Madrid. So much has been made of his future this summer after returning to the club on loan from Spurs last season, where, towards the end of the season especially, he really excelled. There were rumours that he was going to retire from club football altogether, just play for Wales when they had international qualifiers or tournaments, which would have been mind-blowing. I kind of would have liked to see it, but it would have been a little bit crazy to watch him sit around for most of the time and then just show up every couple of weeks for international duty. But he has made his intentions clear, and he will be staying at Real Madrid, well, for this season at least. That is because one of his favourite managers is back in Carlo Ancelotti. The former Everton boss, who is now back at Real Madrid as well, actually signed Gareth Bale in 2013. They had a great relationship and he won quite a few things under the Italian boss. So Bale wants to stay for one more year, and it's the last year of his contract. This means that during this year, he'll either play really well to the point that Real Madrid offer him a new deal, although he will be 33 by next summer. He'll play really well to the point where loads of other clubs will want to offer him a new deal. Or he'll play really badly to the point where no one wants to offer him anything, and he may just have to play golf or stick around and play for Wales. I can't see that happening because even at 33 years old, he still will have a lot to offer so many teams. So I think Gareth Bale's future in football is a little bit more than just secured. As to whether or not he'll even get into the Real Madrid team, we'll have to wait and see. But like I mentioned before, he really likes Ancelotti. Ancelotti seems to be a big fan of the Welshman, so maybe there will be a few more minutes for him this season, more than we saw under Zinedine Zidane in the past couple of years. Moving on then, and to Tottenham, who normally are very quiet in the transfer window, but with new director of football Fabio Paratici, they are making some moves, and finally, they may have brought in a signing. That in the shape of Pierluigi Golini. He is the Atalanta goalkeeper, the former Manchester United Academy player who has agreed to join the club, first on a one-year loan, then there's the option for a second-year loan, and then there's the option to buy him outright. This gives him perfect amount of time to come into the club, learn the ropes, improve himself, get used to everything before taking over from Hugo Lloris as Tottenham's number one. That's in an ideal world. We don't actually know how it's going to pan out, because if everything panned out like it was supposed to in football, it wouldn't be very exciting. But anyway, Anyway, this deal, bringing him in from Atalanta, is also good news for Spurs fans because it really adds up that they are in talks with Atalanta for another one of their players, and that is the very exciting defender in Christian Romero. Now, he has had a pretty good year. He helped Atalanta finish third. He was named the Serie A Defender of the Year, and to top it all off, he went away with Argentina this summer and helped them to win the Copa America. Something about Argentinian players and Tottenham Hotspur, it just goes together. If Paratici can pull this one off from bringing a top-class centre-back to help Spurs and new manager Nuno Espirito Santo really put into play his sort of tactic and style on this Tottenham team, it'll be a very good move indeed, and it'll help to shore up their defence, which has been a bit leaky since Jan Vertonghen departed from the club last summer. And talking of North London transfers, Albert Sambi Lokonga has made the move there, but not to Tottenham, to arch rivals Arsenal. I don't know why I linked those two. He was never interested in Tottenham in the first place. But anyway, they've managed to sign the Belgian wonder kid, and what a player it looks like they've got on their hands. The 21-year-old has joined Mikel Arteta's side for around £70 million, and the thing is, he comes with such high recommendations. He's already captained the Anderlecht side a few times at such a young age. He's made over 50 appearances for the first team, and Vincent Kompany seems to trust him enough at Anderlecht to not only be the captain, but to be their everything in midfield. When Anderlecht play well and win, it's usually because he's had a great game, and if he doesn't, they don't normally pick up all 3 points. He's so key to everything they do, and when Arsenal look at signing players for a generation or so, at age 21, he's perfect. He can come in and be the midfielder that everyone's expecting him to be. They have an absolute star on their hands, and Arsenal fans, I think you should be getting very, very excited about this one. Elsewhere, of course, they've also bought in Nuno Tavares from Benfica, and as well as this, there's 50 million going to Ben White. Looking like a pretty good summer for Arsenal so far. Finally then, we come to a quick round-up of the rest of the day's transfer roundup that you might have missed. And Manchester City are reportedly interested in Sporting's Nuno Mendes, but will not be paying the €50 million asking price. Wolves have been offered the chance to sign Barcelona forward Martin Braithwaite. Next up, and Everton are closing in on the signings of Asmir Begovic and Andros Townsend on free transfers. And lastly but not least, Atletico Madrid do not want to sell Kieran Trippier. But if they are forced to, or if they are offered something that is too good to turn down, they may look to replace him with either Wolves' Nelson Semedo or Giovanni Di Lorenzo. That's all from me for today. Thanks so much for watching. Check out everything else we've got going on, and until next time, I will see you guys later.